Toastmaster, Madam President, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome guests. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to give you a little insight into what it's like to be a Trinidadian living among you. Right. It's really a pleasure tonight to speak to you about my homeland and a little bit about myself. I have lived in Trinidad most of my life. I went to school here in Florida 25 years ago. And I went home and I lived in Trinidad, and I really got so accustomed to the laid-back, easygoing way that we Trinidadians live. It's an adjustment coming back here to Florida and to the United States, working in an environment where people don't take excuses like they do in Trinidad. We have an attitude in the Caribbean, and tomorrow is when you will get whatever you want. Today, you say tomorrow it will be ready. So we are we procrastinate every day, and we have an attitude about life. And our flagship event in Trinidad is Carnival, right? And it's how we live our life, Carnival atmosphere. I'll give you an example. In 2006, Trinidad and Tobago went to the World Cup. We didn't win a single match, but we drew one match. And when we drew that match, we had a public holiday the next day. Drawings, right? I think it was 0-0. We didn't score a goal, and we had a public holiday. So we take every opportunity to celebrate, to enjoy life, and to really not work, right? It's an adjustment here, and it's one of the reasons I love Trinidad. It's one of the reasons I left Trinidad, because I want to get something done beyond sitting in the sun, sitting in the shade, drinking rum, and hanging out with your friends, right? Now, it's been an adjustment, and certain people here know a little bit about me, like my wife, and she'll tell you I don't take criticism very well. I'm never wrong. I always have an excuse, and it's something that it's part of our culture. There's always an excuse for being late, and I'm always late, right? For everything. So, except for work, generally for work I'm usually on time. Every social event, my family knows, tell Richard to be there an hour before we begin. But then I got wise to that, so I'm still late. But it's an adjustment, and it's a whole way of life. I worked for 2 years for the Hotel Association in Trinidad and Tobago. And we used to have a lot of meetings like this with volunteers, people that are not their boss. They're taking their time to do events, fundraisers, to get things done. So you can't order them to be there. So I used to have to start these meetings on time for the people who arrived on time, which was a few, right? But it was a challenge. So I would have to do things like save the important things till the end when everyone will be there, right? And it was really a challenge, and now that I have moved back to the United States, I understand what people think of, how people think of us when they go to the Caribbean. My bosses used to come down from one of my previous jobs, and they used to say, well, what time is the meeting today? What time should I come? What are you telling them? To arrive at 7? Should I come at 8? Right? Should I come at 8 or 8:30? And I used to think, well, he was so disrespectful, but he was really right. So I have a few resolutions here. I'm going to start with Toastmasters. I'm going to try to be on time. Today we just made it about 30 seconds before 7:30. So next week we're going to try again. And I'm going to, I really enjoy the family atmosphere here. And I hope that I will become a little better, giving more speeches in the future and given the opportunity. And I'm sure I'll get some strong criticism from my friend in the corner here. Right? So that will help me in the future. So, Madam Toastmaster.